Hello, this is Gypsy Spirit here with you, and I'm here to welcome you to my new show. It's called Ask Gypsy Spirit, and this is where I have clients who have been with me, or even new people, will send me an email asking me a question and asking for some advice without doing the tarot cards. So, and you can get your question asked too. All you got to do is go down to the description box and it'll tell you what you need to do. All the information is in the box. It's located at the bottom of this video. The cost is $7. That's through PayPal. And you'll also get a video emailed to you answering your question. So I want to get started with the first question from one of my clients. She's located in Northern California, and she called me and or texted me and asked me about a gentleman that she's been involved with for quite some time, a year and a half. And she has been divorced for about 10 years. She's in her late 60s. And again, I don't disclose names also in these videos. And so her boyfriend has been separated for 3 years, and he claims that it is easier for him to stay married for the fact that it's a lot cheaper for him. But he lives separately from his wife. His wife knows about his relationship with my client, and her question was, is he ever going to settle down with her? And my answer is no. Okay? No. Let me tell you something. I don't give a rat's ass how expensive it is for a man to have to pay an alimony or whatever it is. If he really, really loves you and cannot do without you, wants to be with you all the time, he will go to the ends of the earth to get divorced. These guys who say they're separated, first of all, if he's separated, he's still legally married. Don't you get it? He's married. That means that he has a legal attachment to somebody else. Let's say you're dating this guy. You might even be living with this guy, and he dies, and he's got all this money and other assets and everything. Who do you think is going to get it? The wife. So why would you even waste your time? So, you know, he's living on his own. It tells me that he wants to be by himself. He's not happy with the marriage. If he's not happy with his marriage, what the hell makes you think he's going to be happy being married to you? He's obviously got some issues that he's got to work on. But here's the other thing. If he is married and he's separated, he's been separated for 3 years. He was married for over 20 years. Why would you want to have a relationship with somebody that is already bringing their baggage, their negative, shitty baggage into your life? Why do you even want that? You don't want that shit. He needs to get himself together. Either he wants to shit or get off the pot. What he wants is to be by himself, and he wants to have a little nookie from time to time. And you know, that's not a true relationship. Now let me tell you something. If you're okay with that, if you have the same thing, that you just want to have sex, then by all means, and the relationship is not going to go anywhere anyway. But if he's married, he is legally bound to somebody else. He is not yours. He never will be yours until he is legally unbound. And based on what he's telling you, it's not going to happen. You know, and every time, let me tell you something, ladies, every time you're with a man who says he's separated, he could be separated for 3 years and then, or 10 years, and then all of a sudden his ex-wife wants back in the picture. Well, I mean, he doesn't need to do anything. They don't need to go get married because they're already married. Where does that leave you? I took care of a man a long time ago, and he was a mean man. I used to be a caregiver. And this man, he was mean as hell. And he and his wife got married back in the 60s, late 60s. They divorced. He lived with another woman, got her pregnant. The whole time, he's still married to this other woman. And the other woman, she was killed, the woman that he lived with. She was in a bad car accident. But anyway, he never got divorced from the first woman, and he had an accident, and he came into like millions of dollars. Well, guess who come back around when he got into millions of dollars? Oh yeah, the ex-wife. So she ended up moving back in with him, when they were living as husband and wife again all of a sudden. And then of course, things got bad again, and I think they did finally divorce. But, as long as you're dating or with a man who's legally bound to somebody else, I don't care if he's living with you or dating you or dating 100 other women, he's still married, period. Let that sink in for a little bit. So, I'm sorry, that's my dryer going off. Until he is ready to get that divorce, you need to stay the hell out of his life as far as dating. I had a friend a long time ago, and she met this wonderful man, and he was separated, and he wanted to pursue and date my friend, and my friend told him no. As long as he was still married, the only thing she could do for him was to just be a friend and nothing else. And he did. He went and he got his divorce, and after he got divorced, he pursued my friend, and they got married, and it was all good. But if you think that you're gonna get this man to fall so in love with you that he's gonna get a divorce, no, that's not gonna happen. He needs to be divorced before you get involved with him, because as long as you're letting him live with you or date you, being very intimate, why should he get a divorce? I mean, he don't care. Why should he get a divorce? So, think about that. And every time you open the door to that man who claims that, oh, well, I can't get a divorce right now because it would be a lot easier and cheaper for me just to stay legally married. That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. I mean, if he's got that goddamn much money, then he can afford to get a divorce. But when he tells you that, and you welcome him in, and you continue to see him, not do anything about it, and just let things go, guess what? You're giving him your power. You are not standing in your truth or in your power, because deep down, what you're doing is you're making a compromise, because deep down you're hoping that eventually he's going to get a divorce. And so every day you're wondering, when is he going to get a divorce? Is he going to get a divorce? You're wondering. And he's not worth it. Your life is worth so much more than that, than to constantly be wondering, where exactly do you stand? The fact that he's not divorced or not proceeding with that should tell you right there where you stand. But we women, gosh, we just give and give and give, and the more you give, the more power you give away, because he knows. This woman told me that she was in love with this man. No, she's not. No, you're not. You're not in love with him. I'll tell you why. You might be in love with him. There's two kinds of loves. There's being in love, and there's love. If you're in love with somebody, that's just an emotion. When I was married to my ex-husband, I was married to him for 13 years, and there were days maybe a couple of days, I was in love with him. Maybe, I had the rose-colored glasses on or something, and I would see him, very romantically, and I just wanted to jump his bones. I was in love. But there were a lot of days that I was not in love. There was way more days that I was not in love than love. I did love him, but I was not in love with him. And so there's a big difference. Think about that. Let that sink in for a little bit. Because when you're in love, you do stupid things. Who was it? The guy, Will Smith, who smacked Chris. I can't think of the guy's name that he slapped, but anyway, when Will Smith got up on stage, he says, "Love will make you do crazy things." Being in love and not having your own self-love validation, yeah, that'll make you do stupid things. And that was stupid what he did. And it's stupid if you're allowing yourself to believe that this man that you've been dating for a year and a half, who has been separated for 3 years, is going to one day get divorced so that he can marry you. No. I have dated as a man. I lived with a man that was separated. And I also lived with a man that was, I've lived with 2 men that were separated from their wives long time ago. And that's why I'm able to talk to you about this, because I can tell you, the first one, he ended up going back to his wife. And, but the second one was really something. He had met me after he had separated from his wife, and he had dated a few other people, before me. But the thing was he had a lot of baggage, a lot of stuff going on from his marriage that he was dealing with, and he brought all that shit into the relationship, not to mention the fact that he was an alcoholic too. But he brought all that into the relationship, and he used to talk about his ex-wife quite a bit, or the woman he was divorcing, quite a bit. And he would tell me how horrible of a person. I mean, he would just rant and rave about how horrible she was, and he was always the victim. And one day I said to him, there's got to be something good about this woman that you can say, because after all, you did marry her, right? I said, is there anything good about her that you can say? And he did come up with something. But when you're involved with somebody like that, and I know we all have baggage, but you want to work through your stuff on your own, and they need to work on their stuff on their own, so that when they come into a relationship with you, they're all done. They've gotten through or healed whatever they needed to heal. You've gotten through and healed whatever it is that you need to heal, so that the two of you can come together without any of that ugly garbage. Hopefully when you do come together, what you're bringing into the relationship is wisdom. There's 3 components to every relationship. I tell all my clients, each person has to bring these components to the table. It's self-love, self-respect, and integrity. If any of those components are missing from the table, from either party, the relationship's not going to work out. It might seem like, the sex might be great in the beginning and everything, but it's not going to work out in the end. And so with this man being separated, he's already showing himself and the woman that he's seeing a lack of self-love for himself, but also a lack of respect and integrity for himself, for the relationship, for the woman that he's seeing. So, if he's separated and he wants to talk to you and be friends with you, that's great. But anything more than that, you can't depend on anything happening until he sets himself up to actually get divorced. And why you want to wait on that? Don't wait on a man to get divorced just so he can marry you or be with you. He should already do that. He should already be there. So my answer to my client, the lady who texted me and asked me about this, my answer to you is no. He's not going to make any sudden plans to get this divorce. Now if he really, really loves you and just cannot go a day without you, then, and you tell him, listen, I want you to get divorced. I just want to have a clean slate with you. See how fast he gets a divorce. If he starts moving forward to get that divorce, then absolutely, good for you for standing up in your power and standing in your own truth, and making your relationship, filling that relationship with integrity, self-respect, and love. But if he says no, well, then there's your answer. He doesn't love you enough. He's not, you're not really that important to him. So I hope this helps. I get a lot of clients that come with these sort of stories, and I'm 60 years old. I've been through lots. Well, actually, I'm going to be 61 in a couple of weeks. Ooh. So I've been through lots and lots and lots of relationships myself, and so I've learned. And I haven't been in a relationship for over 8 years, I think, 8 or 9 years. And so I've spent a lot of time in meditation, learning, doing tarot readings for a lot of people. And always a tarot, when this situation comes up or this question comes up, the tarot always says exactly pretty much what I just told you. So again, a lot of people, we're looking to validate ourselves through the love of another person, and you don't need to do that. You need to validate your own self through your own love, and it's called self-love. We're going to get into self-love. A lot of people ask me, well, how do you do that? What is self-love? So I want you to stay tuned, and we'll be talking about self-love tomorrow. And I hope that this question helped many of you. And like I said, if you have a question for Gypsy Spirit, that is me, then by all means, go to the box below and learn how you can get your question answered. Again, no disclosing of names. I change areas and name. I don't even disclose names, like I said, but I change the areas of where you may live and things like that. So that way everything is discreet. So the cost is $7 that you can pay through PayPal, and I will send you a video of me answering your question. It will also be posted on YouTube as well. Thank you very much, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day, make great decisions, and love yourself. Treat yourself with respect, love, and integrity. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.